First, I read this script by Vikram Wheat. My agent gave it to me, and I fell in love with it immediately. It was very different from anything that I had done before.
My name is Hawley King. I'm a psychology student at the University of Oregon. In 2008, I saw a news report about 30 elite scientists that had gotten together in a remote area of the Ural Mountains in Russia. I mentioned it to a buddy of mine, and he said that we should make a documentary.
Very well-written, character-driven horror story, I guess you could call it. And it was a found footage movie, which to me was very intriguing because I hadn't done a movie like that, and I thought that this would be kind of a new thing for me to do.
You're telling me that they all got severe hypothermia at the same time, on the same night?
When Rennie initially talked to me about the script, he sent it to me and he said it was obviously inspired by a true story. I didn't know anything about it, so I did a fair amount of research. And the more I dug, the more fascinated I was by it. And then I read the script. Vikram, who's our screenwriter, did a terrific job. And in creating a really nice journey for the audience to go on.
What happened out there?
I can't explain.
The important thing was reality, because we are talking about a found footage movie where we want to create an illusion for the audience that this all really took place. So then the challenge is, how do you find really good actors who are not yet stars?
We decided that it was critical to get fresh faces as our 5 leads. We ended up casting the picture out of the UK.
Dat Love Past is obviously fascinating because we're so far on from it and no one knows what actually happened, and I think that people are at the stage where they think that they never will now. So the idea of making a movie about it is a brilliant idea.
As soon as I got the title of the script and I was told it was based on true events, I went online and looked up on it, and it's quite sad really, because we still to this day don't know really what happened to them.
Leading up to the incident, there were reports of orange lights in the sky.
There's been many theories about what happened to the Dyatlov group, whether it was the Yeti or aliens or government experiments or something like that.
I like the story. I like that it's based on actual events. So when you go online and you research it, it's something that's actually very creepy.
When I first looked it up, I had a look on, there was a little short snippet on Google, like a video of what, a theory that had happened and all these experts saying their opinion. I suppose that there is always doubt left in your mind about it. So no matter what theory you come up with, you're always left thinking, well, who knows?
I've got some opinions on what happened, but I think, like Jensen, I don't want to commit to any of them. I want to keep kind of an agnostic approach about it, because any theory you come up with can be disproved by somebody else. So I think it's more exciting in a way to not commit yourself to one idea.
Why can't we interview Igor Yurin?
He's dead.
What do you think happened?
You believe what everyone tells you to believe?
The experience that the actors are having, that these characters are having, needed to be surrounded by a really harsh, cold, dangerous background, and that's exactly what we found.
We did a lot of research and found the best possible location that would convey the story and the Arctic conditions that the story takes place in.
I'm going to tell you to turn 90 degrees left, then you're going to go in profile left over there. Then I'm going to tell you to go behind this first ridge here and then come directly toward the camera.
2 of our producers, Alexander and Sergey, in Russia, and they said for the exterior stuff, you got to go to Kirovsk. It was a place that we knew we would have snow that time of year. It was a challenging place. It was tough to get to and tough to navigate.
So we had to plan very carefully how we would get everything done, and then when it got dark, we would do scenes in interiors.
Mother Nature was very challenging, and it was difficult on the crew. It was difficult on some of the equipment.
We traveled here by snowcats and snowmobiles about 12 kilometers through the wilderness. This is about as remote and Arctic as movie making can get. It's another day in paradise. Weather is beautiful.
The snow doesn't look too powdery, which is good.
Shooting in snow or water or in any kind of condition, it's just a matter of being prepared and having the right equipment.
The entire cast come out for, I think it was about a week or week and a half. of kind of rehearsals and learning how to walk around in snowshoes and all that kind of stuff.
Action.
I knew it was going to be pretty brutal out there in the snow, as much hiking and climbing as we were going to do. So I got in the gym a lot, did a lot of biking, running.
I started training on my legs, so I'd have enough strength to be able to hike up and go through deep snow, so my knees would be stable.
The cold, you get used to it. I think there was one night where I thought that my fingernails would explode.
The cold was tough. Thankfully, we had a good wardrobe team. There was a few scenes I had to do in kind of knickers and vest top, which were really cold.
We were always kind of fighting for light as well, because we needed to kind of work around when the sun would go up and down, and here we are north of the Arctic Circle, so there was kind of this ticking clock all day, every day as to when the sun was coming or going. So
every movie takes me to a different part of the world. To me, it's an adventure, and we shot in the mountains in northern Russia, where it was minus 30 degrees and 20 feet of snow and really, really extreme conditions, where many times we went to a location with snowmobile or special snow tractors.
Once we got the crew set up and once we were out there and you're looking through the lens, it's absolutely stunning, beautiful stuff.
And the scale of what you're acting on is incredible, because it helps so much, because you stand and you don't have to pretend that you're cold, you don't have to pretend there's an amazing view behind you, because there really is, and you're surrounded by this natural amazingness.
So in a film like this, I think, you know, it gives you a good idea of how these 5 people are completely on their own.
Oh my God, that smells amazing. JP, sir, you are king.
Dude, you might want to wait so you don't burn your mouth.
The elements and the environment really becomes a character in the movie. It's a very interesting process of filming a story where you can't use the conventional kind of coverage and close-ups and angles, but you actually have to tell the whole story from one point of view.
The officer runs in and...
Yeah, of course. He runs in from the
camera.
scene.
I can be like this tight on you and then go to a ginormous wide shot.
We would rehearse scenes for hours, where we had 5 characters, for example, in a situation and a long scene. We would rehearse it for a long time to figure out how the camera can move and how we can find the close-ups and wide shots and everything that the story needs.
Working with Rennie, for me, the first day was very daunting, just because I didn't know him as a person. I just knew him as the Hollywood director who'd done amazing movies, worked with amazing people.
So the question is how, because I like their crab kind of, you know, how they move. Kind of like we were doing yesterday here.
It's amazing. He's so enthusiastic and fun and works incredibly hard.
Whereas he makes you feel like by being on set, you've already proved your worth to be here. So I trust whatever decisions you've made, you know your character better than I do.
Rennie's very approachable, and any questions we have, he's happy to answer them.
When they drag him there, and then Matt goes, Denise, and she says she's gone somewhere there.
Featurette Pass was a really fun movie to make. It was a real adventure in real extreme conditions, and it was nice to see how the crew and the cast and everybody really became a family, because we were in a tiny little town in northern Russia. There was no place to go, and everybody was really enthusiastic. The environment was spectacular.
It's a fascinating story, and I think it's a story that everyone will want to know the outcome in the end.
I told you.
What did you tell me?
Aliens. Which would explain a Yeti.
When you read what happened to these people, it's actually really, really terrifying. I thought it'd be fun to be part of that.
Unfortunately, with Dyatlov Pass, we were just left in the dark, I think, completely.
No scientist has been really able to give an answer to what really happened in 1959, and we are trying to sort of recreate those events and give our point of view. And obviously I want the audience to buy the reality of the story, buy these characters, and I want them to be scared witless.
You're gonna die here, Jensen.